Hello my crafty friends and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm Leslie and thank you so much for visiting Crafty Cards with Leslie. I love to share my cards on the Close to My Heart Facebook groups. After posting these cards, I had several requests to make a process video, and that's how all this started. It's Monday, December the 11th, and a rather gloomy day. Perfect day for hiding away in my craft room and making cards. But wait a minute, every day is a perfect day for making cards. Okay, let's get to work. These are the cards that I posted, and it's nice to mass produce cards. I love mass producing cards. It's very rare I just make a one-off, but you know, it's sort of nice to mix it up as well. So I'll leave this one here as a sample of the one that I did and bring out some variations. So they're all the same design, obviously, but there's a few different techniques. Today's card will include a few different techniques: stamping, how to use your dies as backgrounds, and ink blending with stencils. So this is the original one, and this is the one we're going to make today, or one very similar to this. Same sort of idea. The dies and this one obviously are round. On this one they're square, and this is good for a baby card, and this is for sending a smile and any everyday card. With this one, it's the Nursery Days stamp set that we're going to use, and this is actually on sale at the moment while supplies last, and I'm sure they won't last very long. This original set is $50 and it's on sale for $15, so steal of a deal. This is another variation. This time I only used the 2 dies, whereas these ones both have 3. And it's a star one, pretty cute little monkey. And this one's a Sweet Safari card making workshop. And this one is a totally different look to it. The Daisy Meadows scrapbooking workshop. So anyway, let's get started with this one. I will leave this up here just so you can see what it's supposed to look like when it's finished. I've already made the base of the card. It's a standard size card, 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And then the top, the matte part, which is Seabrook. This color is Seabrook. That is 1/8 of an inch smaller than the actual card base. And then the top card is 1/8 of an inch smaller than that as well. So let's start off by doing the ink blending with the stencil. So the Seabrook ink, and we want to focus the main image in the center of the card. This is just a little mat that I use. It's actually for opening jars, but it's great because it doesn't, your ink pad doesn't slide around. I think that's very helpful. I'll get a little bit of ink on a brush and just make circular motions. You don't want to sort of densely coat each circle. Just give it a hint of color. And that way it'll be, I always find it's a little bit more depth to the color if you have it a gradient shade. So we'll just keep blending. I'm sorry, I might be wobbling the camera somewhat. I'll have a little peek, do a little bit more. I think we'll use the same sentiment, so we sort of want to keep in mind just to keep this part down at the bottom a little clearer. We won't put as much ink on that part. And I think that's probably good. So we'll cover that up. It's bad to have an open ink pad. They tend to finish up on the floor. Not good. I made, actually beforehand, I made a little envelope here just to match. It's always nice to have a little something on an envelope. Okay, so we'll go on to the actual frame, the stack of frames that we're going to use for the center. These ones, you can do the individual frames, the actual mats, but I find doing the stacking mats work really well, as long as you tape them together, and then you can just cut them all out at once. I used my Big Shot and it works really well. So I'll just pop these ones out. You sort of want the same distance between each one. They do vary a little bit, but not noticeably. So we'll just pop these ones out. Take out any little stragglers. And these are going to go into sort of the top left-hand corner. And don't throw away any of these little bits, because these are great for another card. I'll show you what I did with those for another card. Okay, so they're going to go like that. This is the card that I made by just keeping the actual throwaway pieces in between the frames. So why don't we just stick this one down? This glue is great for little narrow areas like this. And you don't need too much on. And this glue is rather forgiving. It lets you jiggle it around a little bit to get it into position first. And just keep in mind that you need to leave room for your sentiment. And you can use a T-square ruler to get it really straight. I tend to just eyeball. Now you can put them so they're equal distance all the way around if you want it totally centered. But as I said, I'm just going to put mine onto the top left-hand corner and just leave a little space between all the different squares. Hopefully that's straightish. And then we'll do the last square. Okay, same thing. Just put equal space between all of them there. Just squidge them up. As I said, this glue is great. It dries, well, it is clear, but you can't see any residue on the paper at all if you manage to get some on, which I tend to do. Okay. So with this one, there is a die that goes with this. As you can see, these ones have been cut out with the die and there's a little white edge. I didn't want the white edge on this one. And then I used just the finger Daubers, which are these little things here. I keep one for each color family and just a little mint tin. And they're great just for taking off the sort of the raw looking edges to the paper. So we'll just put it out just how we think we want it. I think I'm just going to do it exactly the same. You can tilt them. I tend to be a very up and down linear person. My images tend to stay mainly straight. I'm surprised actually I tilted that little one. Okay, make sure you spell baby correctly. That's a good start. So I think we'll start by sticking the little onesie down. And I use the inside of these little foam shakers. They're a great, it's a shame to sort of just use the outside, which they're intended for. They've got a little surround there to make a shaker box, but then you've got all these nice foam squares in the middle. So it's always good to use those. Okay, so let's see where we'll have this. Yeah, about there. And then these ones I will just stick down with the tape, like so. And then I'll put a foam square underneath this as well. And put that around about there. Nice to sort of overlap everything. I always think, I mean, it's an individual taste, I guess, but I tend to like to overlap things. And just make sure that it doesn't, it's okay to go past the little mat, but don't go past the card because you have to be able to fit it in your envelope. There'll be nothing worse than making a card and then finding it doesn't fit in your envelope. So just something to be aware of. Okay, so I'll put that about there. A little crooked, straighten that up. Okay, so the next thing to do is just to put the sentiment. And I'm going to use the same sentiment as I did for the first one. And it's this stamp set, which is sweet girl card making. Nice little set actually. This one is not available anymore, unfortunately, but I'm sure you have something in your stash, or you can just handwrite something or print something out on your computer too. So we'll put that around about there. Maybe line the edge of that up with the edge of that larger frame. And I'll just get my stamp platform. I find when you've gone to the trouble of making a card and you've got everything done and it says you want it, if you stamp on it, which I've done from time to time, and you don't get a precise stamp, a nice clean stamp the first time, it's very difficult to line it up. So the colour that I used for that one, for this one, is the melon. So I think I'm going to stamp it in the melon too. Just put the top on the glue so it doesn't dry out. So the stamp platform, I don't know if you can see there's grid lines on there, so you can easily tell if it's not exactly straight, and you do want your sentiment straight. So there we go. Add some ink. And maybe do that a little deeper, another one. A little bit more pressure. Yeah, I think that's good. I'll leave it at that. Clean off my stamp. Okay, so that is the card all finished, which is a nice, quick and easy card actually. So thank you very much for watching, and if you've got any questions, please leave a message in the comments, and I would be certainly appreciate it if you would hit the thumbs up icon and click the bell to make sure that you're notified of any other upcoming videos. Thank you so much for watching, and have a fantastic day. Bye bye.